Welcome everyone to the Doctor Janine Show. I'm so happy to have you all here today. We have some exciting topics, things that you have asked for me to give comment on and to talk about. Yes, we're talking about Botox today. You can maybe imagine what I'm going to say about it, but we'll try to be unbiased. Okay, we're also talking about some fruits that may not be the best, especially if you've got diabetes, you're pre-diabetic, you're trying to watch your blood glucose levels, you've got insulin resistance. We've got the good, bad, and the ugly in terms of fruits. We're also talking about kidney detox foods and how to detoxify your kidneys using just a healthy diet, which is amazing. We're also talking about gut health, and you know that's a big topic that we usually address. So talking about that. Also, you've asked about safe sun exposure. You know that I'm all about getting out there into that natural sunlight for your overall health, for your circadian rhythms. We're going to be talking about that as well today. And we're going to the beauty set. We're going to be taping our neck for any type of neck wrinkles happening. You're going to Bella, hello. Nice to have you here. Eleanor as well, hello. Great to have you in GA is Georgia, I believe. I know everybody is always testing me on my American states. Great to have you here. And happy Memorial Day. I know we're back to work in the US today. Great to have you all back and tuning in today to the Doctor Janine Show. Amazing. Okay, Botox. You want to know about Botox? Hall 527 wants me to dive right into the Botox. I will be talking about that in just a second, okay? So stay tuned for that. It is a fun and interactive show. Don't forget that we have quiz questions throughout the show, so make sure that you are paying attention to the content that I am sharing. We will go through those quiz questions, and you have the ability to win a prize, which is amazing. I will announce last week's winner as well. And if you did miss last week's show, we talked about parasite cleansing and my very specific parasite protocol. We went through that. I shared a great story from one of my patients in terms of using my parasite protocol and how that was so effective for her, as well as we talked about liver health. We talked about weight loss, leptin resistance. We also talked about calcium and the right type and some of the not so great types of calcium to take and how people are doing that wrong. We talked about some of those fillers and things to be avoiding in your supplements in general. And I shared my 10 tips for leptin resistance, which was amazing. So I hope that you're starting to follow some of these tips, which are really easy most times to start to implicate into your life, which is amazing, okay? Say hello. It's great to have you. Denise in Alberta. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for all the love that's coming in as well. I see all those hearts that are flying and all those likes. Please make sure that you are subscribed, that you are following so that you can always get my latest and greatest and best updated news. Okay, are we good? I think we're better now. Yes. Some people are having some connection difficulties, but that's okay. We'll try to sort that out. All right, so we're talking about, yes, gut health today, so stay tuned for that. And Kathy, good morning. Sandra, good morning as well. Farouk, hello in India. Thank you for tuning in. Amazing to have you here. Lerny, hello in the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in. So again, people from all over the world. Okay, so where did I put my syringe? Here we go. Let's talk about Botox. Now, this is not real Botox, as you can tell, but just to give you an idea. So yes, it is a very popular procedure that's done by, lots of professionals, okay? So this is important to note that yes, it does work, okay? So Botox, if you're looking to shut down that musculature, it does work, okay? And that's why it is so popular. And it was sort of discovered by happenstance, and they were, using it for other medical reasons, and then they found that, women especially were not getting wrinkled anymore because it was shutting down. And it is a neurotoxin. It was shutting down the contractibility of those muscles. So Botox is an injectable medication. So yes, it is a drug that is licensed in most countries, but it's made from botulinum toxin, which is a neurotoxin, and it's made from a bacteria, the Clostridium botulinum. So you've heard of botulism before. That's where they're getting that Botox from, okay? Now, what it does is it blocks the communication between nerves and muscles, preventing the muscles from contracting. And you know that I always show you the facial muscles and how you can use them to your advantage, and relaxing those muscles and doing, you can plump up those muscles, and that's why I like to do things naturally when we go over into the beauty set. Really amazing because you can do things in a natural way to relax, but also to contract those muscles, and that's what I share on the show. Now, Botox is going to be an injectable. You're going to shut down that muscle function and decrease that contraction in that muscle, and therefore the skin on top has less wrinkles, okay? Now, we will be talking about some of those side effects, unfortunately, that go along with, which a lot of people are not aware of, with having Botox injected into their skin, okay, and into those muscles. Now, I will be talking about high and low sugar fruits. So this is important. This is coming up, talking about our kidney health, but also talking about if you're watching your blood glucose levels, if you're diabetic, we will be going through some of the better fruits to be consuming, which is important, and some that you should maybe be avoiding, especially if you've got blood glucose issues, diabetes, okay? So that is coming up as well. All right, so let's talk about some of the side effects of Botox. Number one is headache. Yeah, so a lot of people who have Botox injections, they do experience a headache. Number two on the list, nausea even. Yeah, did your doctor warn you about that? As well as number three, drooling. So I'm going to share some kind of crazy information about Botox and how it can sort of travel, and I've got some evidence about that as well. Some of the other dangers around Botox. But those are some of the symptoms, because Botox doesn't necessarily stay where it's injected. We're going to talk about that. As well as, you may have seen this on social media, the droopy eyelid. And if you get a Botox injection, I've actually talked to people who have had this done. They had their Botox injection, they went and had a nap, and they woke up with a droopy eyelid because that, of course, the Botox migrated to where it shouldn't have, and that was affecting the nerves in the area and the droopy eyelid. So that's a big concern. As well as dry eyes, and number 6 on the list is even vision problems. So here's the thing, and let's go over here. I want you to screenshot that really quickly if you want that list. Okay, let's go over here. And this is based on some evidence now. So animal studies have shown that botulinum toxin can spread a distance of 30 to 45 millimeters. So that conversion is about 4.5 centimeters. It's about 1.77 inches. Okay, so wherever it's injected, where's my Botox? Well, not my real Botox, but let's just say that, hi Lucy, say hello, and we're going to be talking about sunglasses a little bit later, so Lucy's here and ready. Okay, so let's say it's injected here. It's not necessarily going to stay here when you're injecting that Botox. It can migrate, it can travel, and that's what the research shows, because there's this generalized diffusion. I'm going to show you that study in just a second. These are animal studies, that it can migrate. So imagine it doesn't stay where it was injected, which a lot of times is not going to be, and everybody has different diffusion rates based on your circulation, your metabolism, and that's why we can run into difficulties. Now we can see animal studies have shown that the botulinum toxin can spread a distance of 30 to 45 millimeters. So again, up to 1.77 inches for the Americans, and that is moving away from the injection site. So that generalized diffusion is possible after long-term therapeutic or cosmetic use. Now the effects of that diffusion are not well studied. Okay, and they have found in rodent studies that the toxin receptors exist in the central nervous system. Okay, so here's the thing. You've got receptors for that botulinum toxin in different parts of your central nervous system. And this is the big one, that botulinum toxin crosses the blood-brain barrier. Okay, scary stuff, in my opinion, okay, that botulism can cross into your brain central nervous system. And one of the side effects, another one, could be dysphagia, so actually difficulty swallowing because the botulinum toxin has moved through your circulation and can affect your swallowing and being able to swallow your food properly, okay? So I'm just saying. Now, let's go through. I hope everybody got that? All right, good. Now, that's one of the reasons why you can probably understand why I like to share more natural ways of dealing with an anti-aging process. And of course, that's why we're going to be going into the beauty set and talking about face taping today. We're going to be taping the neck area. So that is coming in. Share some likes, share some loves, and please hit that share button. Shan Q, thank you for the follow. And AMC, thank you for sharing today's live. Lady Shay, thank you for sharing as well. And Key followed. Thank you for the follow. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for being here today. It's great to have you all tuning into the Dr. Janine Show. We're going to do a little bit of a fill in the blanks here, talking about gut health and helping with digestion. Okay, so you're going to help me out. This is a bit of a review for people that have been here before, really simple maybe. There's a couple of the blanks that are a little bit more challenging when we're talking about gut health and of course digestion and healthy digestion. I've got my poop platter here ready to go as well to help to talk about this, but also I will be talking about tips for sun exposure and how to get out in the sun and do that safely. This is really important whenever you hear me talk about leptin resistance and circadian rhythm, circadian biology, weight loss. You know that getting out in the sun is really important for your overall health, but also it's very anti-inflammatory and helps with your metabolism. We will be talking about that coming up. Okay, are we ready for our fill in the blanks? I think so. Okay, everybody's going to help me out here. Okay, fill in the blanks. It is preferable to eat a big, healthy what? Okay, so give me some answers here, everybody. I hope you know what the answer is. What are we eating? A big, healthy, when we're talking about gut health. Awesome, awesome. Yes, Blue Eyes has it, of course, a big, healthy breakfast. Okay, so this is really important that you have that big, healthy breakfast. This is signaling to your body that you're in a safe place. You've got food in abundance. You're good. Setting up your metabolism for the day. You've got to have that big, healthy breakfast. Okay, for gut health as well. Now, when looking to improve gut health, okay, the microbiome is in sync with what? The microbiome is in sync with, this one's a little bit tricky. Do we know what this one is? Thank you for everyone tuning in today. Make sure that you are following, that you are subscribed. I'm Dr. Janine. We're filling in the blanks here. Okay, yes, some good answers coming in. And I don't see the one that I'm looking for, though. Oh, yes, Andrea has it. Yes, your microbiome is in sync with nature. Good job. Your microbiome is in sync with nature. Okay, so if you followed me, Andrea, I think that you followed me for a little while because you know exactly what I'm talking about. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And gives off what? Your microbiome, I don't talk about this very often. I have talked about it in a few of my content, my short content that you've seen this. And amazing. Thank you for everybody tuning in. Okay, so what does the microbiome give off? Does anybody know? Kelsey, you're close. Yes, Nash, that is true, but not the answer that I'm looking for. Your microbiome actually gives off, yes, Mark, I like that. No, Mark said gas, which is true. Very funny. Not funny for people who have a lot of gas and bloating, but yes, okay, it gives off light. Okay, so look, I should have continued, sorry. Signaling other organs and their clocks to work in harmony. Does anybody know? I don't see it yet. Okay, I stumped you. All right, yes, okay, so it gives off light. Okay, so that light that your microbiome is giving off is actually very bright, okay? Signaling other organs and their clocks to work in harmony. So this is another reason why it's so important that you are in tune, your circadian rhythms and your gut health are in tune with nature, and that's why we start off with that big healthy breakfast, okay? So continuing on. So that light is working in harmony now with the other clock mechanisms in your other cells. It is not wise to blank between meals. What do we not do between meals? Okay, Melissa, all right, you're already going ahead. Good. It's not good to snack, right, between meals. So we're not eating between meals because this will alter the proper functioning of the, what's it called? Does everybody know? Yes, it's coming in. Let's go, let's go. It is going to alter the, it's going to alter the proper functioning of the, let's see. Does anybody know what it's called? Okay, we're trying. Here we go. It's called the, you've got it? Yes. Akusika has it, migrating, the only person who got it right. Congratulations there, I love it. Migrating, it's called the migrating. Oh, can I fit this down here? Migrating, sorry, you probably can't read that, but there you go. Migrating motor complex, okay, so that is important. Now, It is. I hope you got all of that for gut health, a little review. If not, then this is another reason that you should be following me, because this is what I share, things that you've never heard before, but that are so integral in terms of your gut health. If you've got a lot of gas and bloating, you're suffering, I am here for you. I'm here to give you the right information so that you can make those positive changes that are really simple. I mean, look at these tips, really. Eating a big breakfast, not snacking between meals, simple things that you can add into your life and it will make all the difference in the world. Okay, guess what time it is? It is quiz time, everyone. Okay, is everybody ready? Share some likes. Make sure you hit that share button. Bring your friends in on the fun. Okay, this is what we do in the show. We're gonna play for this prize, and this is from our great sponsors at Vitatree Nutritionals, the AccuBlood Sugar Balance. Super excited about this. Okay, this is what we're playing for. So all you have to do in the comments section, you're gonna answer the question. You've got 30 seconds once that question comes up to answer. You're gonna do your best. Here we go. Everybody ready? All right, let's go with quiz question number 1. It's a true or false. Botox can cross the blood-brain barrier. True or false? Get your answers in. You got 30 seconds on the clock. Good luck, everyone. Awesome, awesome. Okay, just 5 seconds left. Everybody got your answers in? Yes, I see all correct answers so far. Good job, everyone. Okay, so you got your answers in? Yes, of course, the answer is true. So that's a little bit scary in terms of Botox, and it hasn't been well studied enough yet as to what those implications are of that Botox sort of migrating. So as much as you're injecting it in certain areas, perhaps on the face, for that anti-aging effect, is it migrating to other parts of the brain and your central nervous system? Okay, so this is important. Now, I do want to congratulate last week's winner of the Paravide, and that was Little Lady 4. Congratulations, Little Lady, you are our winner. Awesome, awesome. Continue, because you can win again. So make sure that you continue to participate. That will be sent out to you from our great friends at Vitatree Nutritionals. Okay, awesome. Now, I've had a lot of questions about safe sun exposure. If you've noticed, most times I do have, and whenever I can, a nice dark and glowing tan. Getting out into that sunlight is super important for everyone of all ages, okay? And it's of course, not what you've heard from your dermatologist, from your doctors, from the sunscreen industry, that we need to cover up and we're going to age so much more quickly if we're out in that sun. Well, if you do safe sun exposure in the right way, it actually helps to build your collagen. And I'm going to share some of my famous tips as to how to do this in a safe way. Now, one of the things that your body does and that your skin makes is its own natural sunscreen by doing your sun exposure in the right way. So that's important. So my first tip on the list is to make sure that you get that early morning sun, okay? So when that early morning sun is coming into, so is this good or bad, what's happening here? For all of those of you who get up and the first thing you do is you put your sunglasses on in the morning because, whoo, it's so bright. No, not good, okay? So that sun has to come into your eyes. Early morning sunlight is not high in UV. There is no UV first thing in the morning as the sun is rising, okay? So this is a big misconception. That early morning sunlight comes into the eyes, now signals your brain tissue. Your brain is your master controller of your entire body, your metabolism, everything, your gut health, everything has to go through the brain and the eyes to get that signal going for the day. Your leptin receptors, this is all tied into the content that I share. So that natural light has to come into the eyes, okay? So no sunglasses, and you've got to see that early morning sun as close to sunrise as you possibly can. Now there's a balance of the red and the blue wavelengths of light at this time, and you don't want to have sunscreen on your skin, okay? So your skin is going to make its own natural sunscreen from histidine. It's called urocanic acid, okay? That's what your body naturally does, and it's going to protect you. So getting that sun in your eyes, on your skin, first thing in the morning is going to protect you for later in the day. So your body's going to start to make its own natural sunscreen. That is now you're prepared for that midday sun when the UV does go up, so because you have that natural sunscreen protection, okay? So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 for that safe sun exposure is to build your base. Okay, so if you haven't had any UV, you're exposing your feet for 10 minutes, and then the next day you go lift up your pants a little bit and you're exposing a little bit of your lower leg for 15 minutes. You can do small increments, something that I share very specifically in my next book that's coming out very soon. So make sure you are following me so you get all the deets on the pre-releases of my book and the launch and all of that. But this is important that 15 minutes per day if you're super sun sensitive. Now, if you know how to build up your base, for those of you who have tanned, if you're like a 70s, 80s baby, you know how to tan, you know how to do this in a safe way. You're gonna build up your base very slowly over several weeks, okay? So it's not, you know, blast yourself and fry yourself. No, it's building up that UV base. Now, tip number 3 for safe sun exposure is going to cover up, right? So when you know, you get that inkling, and everybody gets it, you know, follow your intuition. When you're like, I'm done, I've had enough sun for today, you're going into the shade, you're covering up, you're going inside when you need to do that, when you know that you've had enough, okay? So hit that share button. Thank you so much for everybody who's here today. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you for all the likes that are coming in, and make sure that you are subscribed, you're following. Okay, number 4, let's continue our list. No sunglasses, of course, we've already talked about that. So you do not want to be wearing the sunglasses. You will burn. Your skin will burn more readily if you're wearing your sunglasses. And it's funny because I see people when I'm out on vacation, everybody's got their sunscreen on, they're smothering themselves with the toxic, usually toxic, sunscreen, and they're burning. And I'm out there, of course, no sunglasses. I don't use sunscreen unless I use my own natural one, which is coming up, which is tip number 5. And of course, I have my own recipe, and this is what I bring on vacation, is my own natural sunscreen. So when you do know that you want to be outside for prolonged periods and you still want to expose your skin, which I do, then I use my own natural sunscreen. And that recipe is something that we do have, we can share in just a few minutes. And of course, you want to get number 6, sunset light on your skin. It's very, and this is the great thing, the UV is gone now, and you often feel that radiant heat. So if you've been in a far infrared sauna before, that radiant heat, the same type of heat and light that's coming from the sun as the sun is setting, amazing. It's very healing, builds your collagen, great for cellulite. These are my safe sun exposure tips. So screenshot that if you have the ability really quickly. And I'm so glad that you're loving the information. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in today. I do want to say, and call out my viewer spotlight for this week. So this is from TL Cotter Griffin. Thank you so much. And you said, love having all of the great information. Thank you so much, TL Cotter. Thank you for sharing all of that positivity with me. I love the fact that everybody tunes in every week. And we do this every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in next week as well for all new topics. We have different topics every week. And the show does exist in long form media. So if you want to check it out, you can search up the show and check out what you've missed in previous, years even. We've been doing this for a few years now. Amazing. Okay, awesome. Now let's talk about our kidneys. I'm going to dismantle Lucy here a little bit to get to her kidneys. 8 best foods for your kidneys and for doing kidney detox. Now we will be going into the beauty set, talking about that face taping that is coming up. But let's talk a little bit about that kidney detox and why it's so important to detoxify your kidneys. Now we know our kidneys are a big filter in terms of toxins in our body, and of course, as is our liver. As I take out Lucy's liver, and we're gonna have things falling on the floor here, and I'm gonna take out her stomach, and I'm gonna take out her digestive gut health, there we go, which we talked about as well today. But here's the thing, when we're talking about, getting that natural sunlight exposure, this is important as well for kidney health, because remember, we've got all those clocks. So we've got that central clock in our brain, we've got clocks in our other organs, and this is important that all of those clocks are in sync with one another so that we have that proper organ function. Okay, let's go through some of the best foods now for our kidney health. So whether this is for kidney stones, if you're prone to, frequent urination, not urinating enough, you've got kidney issues, maybe you've got gout, which is related to that kidney toxicity, maybe you've got frequent urinary tract infections, so here's the bladder that I've just removed. Yeah, so this can all be related back into your kidney health. Maybe you're taking certain medications and that can be making your kidneys worse as well in terms of that toxic load. Here's some of the best foods to help with your kidney health. Okay, number 1 on my list is green leafy veggies, okay? So dandelion greens especially. So you may have a lot of dandelions on your, I'm going to just take out the kidney for a second. There we go. You may have a lot of dandelions on your lawn right now. And the green part is actually good for your kidneys. Now the root has different attributes as well, great for your liver health, but the leaves especially, so add them to your salads. Of course, if you're not using pesticides, if it's a natural, a dandelion leaf, then you can purchase that often in the store as well. Add that to your salads, amazing for your kidney health. And any dark green leafy vegetable, great because of all of those loaded with antioxidants, great for your kidney health. Okay, number 2, of course, is cranberries. You've heard about cranberries being great for urinary tract infections, but cranberries and cranberry juice, very low on the glycemic index. We will be talking about some fruits that are good and bad in terms of diabetes and insulin resistance, spiking your blood glucose levels, that is coming up. But cranberries are really low in terms of sugar content, great for your kidney health. Okay, so use some, but you've got to buy the pure stuff. Don't get the regular in the grocery store cranberry juice that's got a lot of sugar in there. Cranberries by their nature are low in sugar. They're very, very tart. You want to make sure that you are getting the pure stuff, often from the health food store, that doesn't have any other juices or any other added sugar in there, okay? So cranberries. Number 3, great for your kidneys. Blueberries as well. Now blueberries are interesting because we always hear about cranberries in terms of decreasing for urinary tract infections, decreasing the adhesion of that bacteria to the walls. That's the thing about blueberries as well, is that the evidence shows that blueberries also help to prevent against urinary tract infections. So that's why I love it, and that's why it's on my list of your best foods for kidney detox. Okay, number 4 on the list is parsley. So parsley is a natural diuretic. So it works like a water pill, helps to flush things out. If you tend to hold on to extra water weight, you're trying to flush out some of that excess water as a diuretic, have some more parsley. So adding it to salads, eating it after a meal, amazing, amazing for your kidney health and to flush out for that kidney detox. Okay, number 5 is cilantro. Now, a little bit like parsley, but because cilantro is known, and this is what the research shows, is that it actually helps to trap heavy metal toxins. And that's one of the reasons that if you eat a lot of seafood, and maybe there's some mercury and other heavy metal toxins in there, that cilantro can be really, really effective at helping to detox and really helping for your kidney health for detoxing those heavy metal toxins. Okay, number 6 on my list. A lot of people will be happy about this, coffee. Oh yeah. So coffee, and this is actually from some research. If we take a look here, a higher coffee intake was actually associated with a lower risk of incident acute kidney injury. So isn't that interesting? We know that coffee is a diuretic. My only caution here is that for every coffee you have to double up 2 glasses of water after each coffee, okay? Because it is a diuretic, so I want you to be flushing, making sure that you're getting enough of that proper hydration. Of course, water should be on my list as well. I think that goes without saying that we need more water for our kidneys, and aim for about 2 liters a day of water, okay? So that's really important for kidney health. Okay, number 7 on my list is watermelon. So great because, of course, it contains so much water. So great for your kidney health and kidney detox. Also has that lycopene, which is a natural sunscreen. So going back to safe sun exposure, eating more tomatoes and watermelon actually helps for your skin to make its own natural sunscreen, okay, because of the lycopene. So that's important as well. Okay, number 8 on the list is lemons. Oh yeah, lemons are loaded with polyphenols. Okay, so polyphenols, very specific antioxidants, which are fantastic to quench free radicals, great for your kidney health. So squeezing a bit of fresh lemon juice into some water, amazing. This is how you should really start your day. If you do have any kind of kidney issue, digestive issues, doing that helps with digestion as well, helps with flushing out your liver health as well. So those lemons are fantastic for both liver and kidney health and that kidney detox. Okay, I hope you got that list. You can screenshot that really quickly. I hope that you've got it. Those are my 8 best kidney detox foods. Okay, and guess what time it is, everyone? It is quiz question 2 time. So if you are new here for the first time, great to have you here. Thank you for tuning in. If you do have specific questions, because I see a lot of questions are coming in, please tune in because I can't always get to all your questions during the live show. Tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, okay? And that's where we're going to do a quick Q&A. You'll be able to ask your questions. If I don't get to them today, please tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, quiz question number 2. This is what we're playing for, everyone. If you know, you know. Vitatree Nutritionals, our great sponsor of the Dr. Janine Show. Thank you so much to them. And this is what we're playing for this week is the AccuBlood Sugar Balance. Okay, is everybody ready? You got 30 seconds on the clock. Another true or false. I think if you've been watching, you know the answer to this one. It should be fairly simple, but if you're just tuning in, you may not know this. Here we go. Question number 2, true or false? You should wear sunglasses to prevent sunburn on your skin. Okay, let's bring that clock up. You got 30 seconds. And your answer's in now. Good luck, everyone. Okay, we've got about 10 seconds left. Let's see, I'm curious how people are doing. All right. We're on track. Some people maybe just tuning in. Yes, here we go, here we go. Everybody got your answers in? Okay, make sure you hit that share button, everyone. Thank you for all the likes coming in. I see that streaming in. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let's reveal. No, you should not wear sunglasses, okay? A sure way to get a great sunburn is to wear your sunglasses all the time, especially in that natural sunlight, especially first thing in the morning and throughout, you know, the high UV. You may want to put it on, like if you, and here's the caveat to that, if you are, you know, on a bright surface, you're reading a white page book and like your eyes are glaring, you're driving home and the sun is glaring, you may want to put your sunglasses on. I'm not saying that you never wear them. However, you know, if you're wanting to protect your skin and get your natural sunscreen going in your skin, you're not wearing your sunglasses, okay? So great job, everyone. I'm so happy that I've been able to educate you on these, and I saw mostly correct answers for that one, okay? You don't want to wear sunglasses because if you do wear sunglasses, you will more likely get a sunburn, okay? Thank you so much. I see some great questions coming in. I do have to move on. Let's talk about some low sugar fruits and some higher sugar fruits that we should and should not be eating. Okay, we do have our last quiz question will be coming up very soon, but let's now talk about some lower sugar fruits. So these ones are a little bit healthier. So if you do have diabetes, if you have insulin resistance, you've got leptin resistance, you're trying to watch your blood glucose levels, these are some lower sugar fruits that I do recommend, of course, if they are local to you and in season and you have access to them because you can grow them around you. These are some really healthy ones. And sometimes you can get away with having these in more so in the summertime if you live in a more temperate climate like here in Canada, different, you know, parts of northern US, then yeah, you can get away with having these when the temperature is warmer, when you could potentially grow them yourself, okay? Number 1, avocado. Yeah, great fruit. Doesn't spike your blood glucose levels because, why? Because it's got all those healthy fats, okay? So there's not a lot of sugar in an avocado. It is a carbohydrate, it is a fruit, but it's gonna be really healthy in terms of stabilizing blood glucose levels, okay? Number 2, olives are also a fruit loaded with those healthy fats, of course, those polyphenols. So great for your heart health. I've talked about this in other, you know, episodes and also in my content, what to look for in a good olive oil. Make sure that it's from one source and ideally organic. And of course, in different parts of the world, they grow the best olives, okay? So loaded with those polyphenols, an extra virgin glass bottle olive oil is what you're looking for. Okay, number 3, another great fruit are the berries. So berries tend to be lower on the glycemic index. So whether that is when they're in season, of course, blueberries, blackberries, cranberries, which we talked about, which are amazing, very low in the glycemic index, raspberries, we've got golden berries, fantastic, and strawberries as well. Amazing, amazing. If you're balancing your blood sugar, you've got diabetes, these are the fruits to be eating, okay? Now let's talk about some of the ones that maybe aren't so great. Can we guess what they are? In terms of glycemic index, okay? So high sugar fruits, unfortunately, number 1, if you are diabetic, probably don't recommend eating a lot of grapes. And even worse is juice of any of these fruits is gonna spike your blood glucose levels, except for, the only one that it would be the exception here would be a pure cranberry juice, like I talked about earlier, if you're just tuning in. Of course, that is not added sugar in there or other fruits, sweeter fruits that they usually add into a cranberry juice to spike up, to make it more palatable because the cranberries are so tart on their own, but it's really, you know, grape juice, grapes, really high on that glycemic index. Cranberry juice as well, if it's sweetened, of course, not going to be a healthy thing. So grapes, high sugar fruit, probably not the best if you are diabetic, watching your blood glucose levels if you've got that insulin resistance. Okay, number 2, another really one high in sugar. Pineapples, unfortunately, not the best. Very, very high in sugar. Now, can you eat them if you're not diabetic? Of course you can. If they grow close to you, of course you can. If you're out in that hot sun. Yes, you have now the metabolism in the hot sun to be able to deal with that sugar. Sometimes you need some of that spike of that blood glucose under that hot sun. So yeah, these are things that, yeah, it's going to depend on who you are and what's happening with your metabolism. And number 3, and another unfortunate one on my list, of course, is the mango. So for anybody, can I throw these to you? There we go. For anybody who loves your mangoes, again, if you've got diabetes, may not be the best choice because it's super high on the glycemic index and very high in sugar. Okay, so we'll come back to that list really quickly. There you go. Not the best ones if you are watching your blood glucose levels. All right, there we go. So now let's talk a little bit about, are we at the next quiz question? Oh no, I do want to say thank you to all my super fans. So thank you so much. Shout out to all my super fans. Thank you so much. You're so generous throughout the shows and you're donating to the channel, and that's what helps to keep me here and talking to you every single week. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Great to have you, in on, and I love all of the love that's coming in and all the likes and of course the shares throughout the shows as well. Make sure that you are subscribed, that you are following as well, so that you are able to get all of the latest and greatest natural health information and research information that I share. Guess where we're going next, everyone? Yes, we are going over to the beauty set, and we're going to be talking about some face taping today. And when we're talking about, last week we talked about helping with face taping for the jawline. I'll do a bit of a review on face taping, this kinesiology tape. If you haven't been here before, it is actually made for athletics, so for sports, but it's something that you can definitely now use for your beauty routine. Now, if you're just earlier today, we talked about some of the side effects of Botox injections and some of, the information that you may not have been told about Botox and what with Botox. So that is something that we talked about earlier in the show. I opened the show talking about Botox, okay? So that's you've got to make your own decisions there. Now, one of the things with face taping that I love is that, number one, it's natural, it's inexpensive, you can do it at home, and it does have fantastic results, okay? So last week we did talk about the jawline. I hope that, put a 1 in the comments if you have been doing that, okay? Thank you for all the shares. I see all the shares. Okay, one person here, HO something, or I'm not sure of the script there, but thank you so much. You shared like 10 times. Thank you so much for sharing today's live. Okay, so thank you so much. I see some of you sharing, so thank you. Can you use silicone tape, Maddie? Yes, you possibly could. I haven't tried that one, but thank you again, who is sharing here so many times. Awesome, awesome. Love you all. Okay, so the face taping, kinesiology tape, is something that you can purchase in the pharmacy. You can purchase it online. You're just looking for kinesiology tape. And this is often what athletes are using. And it is stretchy in one direction. So in the long direction, in this direction, it is stretchy. It does have an adhesive backing on it. So you do have to do a little bit of a patch test. If you have sensitive skin, you're going to put a little piece on your skin, maybe on your wrist the day before that you plan on doing this. And just leave it there 15, 20 minutes, maybe longer, just to make sure that your skin, and then you're going to take it off, make sure you're not getting a rash, that your skin is not reacting. Very few people that I've, and in my commenting on all of my face taping videos that I have reported that they're actually sensitive to this tape, okay? So most people are okay with it. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut off little strips. So you can see that this one has a bit of a guide on the back. You're going to cut off your strips, and then you're going to cut those in half, and then you're going to peel off that back part. Okay, so what we're talking about now is necklines. And if we look at our facial muscles, we can see that there's a lot of stuff happening here behind the scenes, underneath the skin, in terms of our facial muscles. And what we're wanting to do, similar to Botox, but of course without the toxicity, is to send some signals from the skin to those underlying muscles just to have a relaxation. Now, the added bonus with necklines, if you have quite deep ones, is that what the face tape does as you're removing it, so you're going to relax that area, you're sort of spreading out. If you do have a neckline, you're going to spread out the skin. I'm going to show you my exact technique in just a second. You're going to spread out your skin. So you're sort of, if your skin is like this with that, imagine the middle of this valley is your wrinkle, you're spreading out your skin and then you're taping it so that it's in the up position. When you peel off the tape, you'll see immediately that the skin looks more smooth, more flat, because you've sort of pulled up that valley with the tape, okay? So that's an immediate result first thing in the morning. Hey, if you've got a big meeting, you're going on camera, I don't know what it is, you can do this right before that you're doing that, because there will be that temporary effect of pulling out the skin. Plus, you're sending those signals now to these areas, and this is for side sleepers, for people that sort of sleep and crunched up in weird positions. It can be really beneficial to actually have that smoothing effect on those neck lines if you've got them, okay? Another thing that you want to think about is tech neck. So if you're on your phones all the time and you're always doing this, not great for those neck wrinkles, all right? All right, so you're going to do this at bedtime on nice clean skin. So you're going to cleanse your skin, maybe do your lymphatic drainage massage technique that I love to show you as well. And then you're simply going to get your tape and you're going to peel off the backing. And I'm just going to pull my mirror over here. If you do have a line, you're going to spread out your skin with your opposite hand. You're just going to spread out that area and gently apply your tape. Now, you're not applying any tension in this technique. You're just putting it flat on. Now, in other techniques, we pull and we put tension on the tape. In this one, you're just applying it straight on that flat skin. And now, depending on, you know, the length of your lines, if they go like right across, you could make a much longer piece of tape. You could do multiple ones. So if I have one here, I could do another one on the other side. Let me put another one here. So again, you're just spreading out. If you do have a line, you're just spreading it out so that it's nice and flat, and you are applying the tape across. There you go. And then you go to bed, and then you wake up in the morning, you peel it off, and then one of the nice things you can do is apply your hyaluronic acid or whatever it is that's going to plump up that skin. When you peel it off, you're going to see that lifting effect because of the fact that, you know, remember, you have pulled up that skin from the inside with that tape, okay? Amazing, amazing. I hope that, yes, did I see anyone? Sorry, I started to ask that question. People that have been doing the face taping, put a 1 in the comments if you've been doing my face taping techniques in the last few weeks. I hope that it is amazing that you are all here and that you are learning and that you, and okay, so Dave is saying the tape is very good and the team that you work for uses it a lot. Okay, so I'm guessing that you're using it for sports reasons. So the kinesiology tape, yeah, amazing, which is fantastic. Okay, will it stick with a night serum? No, that's the only drawback. So if you're putting your serums and things on and you try to apply that tape, most times it will not stick. So you may want to do, and I like to do it alternating nights. So if I do my castor oil routine, I'm putting castor oil or serums or whatever, vitamin C serum, whatever that I do at nighttime, usually that's not going to be a face taping night. On a face taping night, you've got nothing on the skin. You've just cleansed, it's just your skin and you're putting on the tape, okay? So that makes a difference. Now, certainly after you are removing that tape, then of course you can apply all of your skincare routine after that, okay? So amazing, amazing. Thank you for everybody who's tuning in today. It's so great to have you all here. I know that there's so many new people as well, and that I know that it's so great when you have questions. Make sure you do tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that is hashtag Ask Dr. Janine. So for more questions that I haven't been able to address in today's live, you're going to tune in tomorrow, which is going to be amazing. I'll be able to answer those questions for you tomorrow. Okay, Eddie is asking, you eat and you eat a lot of protein, you're always hungry, and you need to, okay, so again, being stuck with weight loss. So if you're hitting a weight loss plateau, this is important in terms of fixing your leptin resistance. So this is something that I've talked about in a lot of my shows. Today we can tie it in terms of, you know, those high sugar fruits, insulin resistance. Usually it's a leptin problem first, and how your fat cells are communicating with your brain, and that's going to have an impact. So that whole thing, you want to make sure that you fix your leptin resistance, and that's something that I've shared in other videos, and a lot of content on that. Actually, last week I shared my, was it 10 tips? 10 tips to fix leptin resistance, so make sure you check out last week's show. And that's why you have to tune in. Of course, every week. Rosalind is asking, how do you improve your cortisol levels? Yeah, you've got to decrease the stress. We know that, but also fixing your leptin resistance and your inflammation in the body. And that's something that we've talked about with pregnenolone-Steele syndrome and why it's so important to be able to fix that. Okay, now let's go to quiz question number 3, everyone. Is everybody ready? Okay, quiz question number 3. We are playing for blood sugar balance from our great sponsors at VitaTree Nutritionals. It's so great to have you all here. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that you were paying attention. We do have our last and final quiz question for today. Is everybody ready? Okay, let's go. Name a food that is good for your kidneys. I gave you a list, a bunch of them. Okay, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. Get your answers in now. Okay, and I see a lot of questions coming in about the Botox. We're going to readdress those side effects of Botox. We're going to go back there in just a second. Get your answers in now, though, please, for a food that's good for your kidneys. You got a few seconds left. 3, 2, 1. I hope everybody got your answer. Oh, I love the fact when you put those emojis in. Raise, I see that. Amazing, amazing. Good job, everyone. That when I was holding the kidney, that is a good food. So kidney beans are actually good for your kidneys, believe it or not. Yes, nature has a way of telling us sometimes in the way that our foods look that they're actually great for those specific organs. So I like that answer even though it wasn't on my list. Okay, everybody got your answers in. I hope that you're subscribed, that you are following. Thank you for all love and all those hearts and things coming in throughout the show as well. Okay, let's reveal, of course, green leafy, cilantro, coffee, watermelon, and of course those lemons, great for your kidney health, which is amazing. Good job, good job. Okay, some requests were coming in. Just before that, let's take a look at those side effects of Botox. Okay, also low sugar fruits. A lot of you were asking for this. Side effect, okay, where are we going? I'm confused. Here we go. All right, low sugar fruits first. All right, avocado, olives, berries are lower in the glycemic index. So this is going to be really important for balancing your blood glucose levels. If you are diabetic, pre-diabetic, this is going to be important for you, for your leptin resistance as well. These are the ones, of course, if they are local to you, that I can't stress that enough, so that we don't have that mismatch in terms of that signaling between our brain, our fat cells, and our metabolism. Make sure that you're eating things that are available to the environment that you're in, okay? So that's important. Now, let's take a look at those side effects, potentially, of Botox. Headaches, nausea, drooling, droopy eyelid, dry eyes, vision problems. But I want to pull up that study really quickly if you're just tuning in really quickly, just because we know that, and you can look this up yourself, okay? So it's called Serious and Long-Term Adverse Events Associated with the Therapeutic and Cosmetic Use of Botulinum Toxin. This is back in 2015. It's not new information, but it was saying, and here's the big thing. There's 2 big things, points in this study. Here we go, 30 to 45 millimeters, so that's like 1.77 inches. Migration of that Botox, I'm going to show you on Lucy just a second what that means. Means where you're injecting it doesn't mean that that Botox stays in that area, potentially, okay? And they don't know, everybody's different. They don't know your diffusion rates, what your diffusion rate's going to be, how far it's going to spread in each person. And that's why people can have side effects and not do well with Botox. Personally, what I've experienced, in seeing people who have had a lot of Botox over time, it may be good at the beginning, but over time, 10, 15 years later, they actually look worse because that proper musculature, they just look worse. That's my own opinion in people that I've seen that have done Botox for a long time. Initially, it looks really good, nice, glassy skin, no wrinkles, amazing, amazing. But over time, things look worse, okay? And we're all aging. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all aging, so I like to, talk about natural ways to do these things. That's why I talk about face taping and face yoga and doing facial exercise and all of those amazing things that we can do naturally to maintain that lifted and youthful appearance and the quality of your skin as well, but doing it naturally without these negative side effects. Now, the other big thing that came up in this study, which sort of was scary to me, was the fact that that botulinum toxin, so the Botox, does cross the blood-brain barrier. Okay, so the brain is very picky and it doesn't want a lot of toxins getting in there. So the fact that the Botox, and there have been receptors found for Botox in the central nervous system, this is a scary thing for long-term negative consequences potentially of injecting this toxin into your skin, into your muscles, is that, it can cross that blood-brain barrier, that very protective, barrier between the blood and the brain. It's going to get in there. Okay, so just something to be aware of. Okay, and you can look up that study as I suggested. Really important that you do more research on your own. I give it to you, and present the information, but you can definitely do more research on that. All right. Okay. Oh, the recipe for sunscreen. Yes, thank you. Oh, and we do have it available really quickly. So we did talk about how to expose yourself safely to the natural sun, light exposure for your metabolism. That's important for somebody who's asking about that, balancing your blood sugar levels, your leptin resistance. But also, here we go. If you're going to be outside for prolonged periods of time, you can't cover up, and maybe you just want to work a little bit more on your tan, like I often do. Here you go. Natural sunscreen recipe, and this is what I use. I mean, it's amazing. Love it, love it, love it. And here we go. You've got that zinc oxide. Make sure it's non-nano. This is something you can purchase the powder. It's a white powder you purchase online. And that carrot seed oil, raspberry seed oil, shea butter, coconut oil, and jojoba oil. All right? Sometimes I just use plain coconut oil as well. If I know that I just want some moisturization, I've been out in the sun a lot, and I just want some moisture. It does have a small SPF on its own, 4 to 6. So you can also just use, depending on your exposure rates, but if you're like in the Caribbean or close to the equator, sometimes you need more of the heavy duties, like the actual physical block of the zinc oxide. That's why I love this recipe so much. I use it on my face, all over, all the skin. Okay, amazing, amazing. And then you're just going to put those whisk it in together. Depending on the temperature, you may have to work it a little bit, because depending on, sometimes the shea butter can be a little bit hard. You're going to mix that all together and keep it in a glass jar. But if you're traveling, I do put it in plastic so that it doesn't break. All right, there you have it. I hope that you screenshotted that. Amazing. If you want more information, make sure you are following me, that you are subscribed. Remember, we're tuning in tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just pop in and say hello tomorrow at 1 p.m. with your questions as well. I wasn't able to get to all your questions today, so it was so great to have you all here. Please tune in tomorrow. I'll answer your questions. We'll go through, we'll review a little bit of what we talked about today, and I'll see you then. Okay, check out my content. In the meantime, make sure you are following. Thank you for all the love that came in, and I see all of those hearts and all the likes. Thank you for all of that. Love you all. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow.